Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm the prop queen, Ariel Epstein. Again, always just barely making it on air, but we made it. Really good show in store today because we've got some Major League Baseball action. College baseball is finishing up right now as Coastal Carolina has a potential chance to make it on the longest. I know that Fun with Numbers is going to make fun of me, but my hair is a mess. I ran in the door for my sister's birthday. Coastal Carolina has a chance to do something like no one's ever done in the history of college baseball, and that's go in on a 26-game winning streak. The longest was like 13 games to go into the championship game on a winning streak. So Coastal is on absolute fire. I mean, they've not lost in months. But today, we are going to talk for the first time on the show ever soccer. I got an email this morning from BetMGM, and it was talking about like the Gold Cup and the FIFA World Cup, Club World Cup. So I have a really good friend from my days at Sports Grid, Martino Puccio, who first off is the reason that I got on TikTok because he told me to get on there like years ago and I should have listened earlier, but I didn't. But Martino is my go-to soccer guy. So I texted him, no joke, like an hour ago. And I'm like, Martino, I am screwed today. My sister's birthday is today. She took off work. I felt so bad because she had like nobody to hang out with today. My parents couldn't come in from the suburbs to go take her to dinner. So she was like, I got a reservation for lunch at like my favorite, like a restaurant I've never been to before. I've been dying to try it. Would you be able to come with me on my birthday? So of course, being the good sister I am, I went with her. I had a glass of wine, which made me extra sleepy because Marley doesn't let me sleep. So getting onto the show, I'm like, oh yeah, I got the newsletter done. I have my analysis done. My picks are in. And then I'm like, oh crap, I don't have any guests for the show today. And I was going to wing it and do an hour by myself. But then I was like, oh, I don't understand anything that's going on in soccer right now. I didn't know that we had two different things going on. I don't understand. The only thing I know about soccer is relegation, which is something that every sports league should do because it, I think, would inspire people more than like the stupid NBA play-in tournament or whatever. Not the play-in tournament, that tournament they do at the beginning of the year. Why am I blanking on the name of it? I have no brain cells right now. Me and Starbucks best friends. Yeah, that would get people more involved if relegation was the thing. Yeah, the in-season tournament. Thank you. I was like, I know it's not the play-in tournament, the in-season tournament. So stupid. But anyway, Martino Puccio is going to come on the show and talk soccer with us. And I'm going to tweet that out. We are live. Martino Puccio joining the show at 5:10 p.m. Eastern Time to talk soccer. And for anyone like me that didn't realize that Team USA plays tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, now you know. So if you want to bet on Team USA, you've got action tomorrow morning. And I'm super pumped because I love, now that I have Marley, I love having morning action because that's what I did in the French Open. That's what I'm going to do now with soccer tomorrow. I've done it with college baseball all week. You could be like Michael, the a-hole who's on my X account, who asked me, you actually watch games? Screw you, Michael. So I've just been continuing to post every time I watch games. Jessica Brand, you can actually get better prices on non-U.S. national teams, consistent angle. We're going to talk about that. I'm just saying that Team USA plays tomorrow for the people that care. Sean Michael, Team USA stinks. Yeah, I'm sure Martino's going to talk to us about that. Hey, we're all good with fading Team USA. I'm cool with it. If it makes us money and we could hedge our happiness by fading Team USA, that's fine. If USA wins, we're happy. If USA loses, we're happy. It's a win-win. You know what did really make me happy, though, today? Before we get to soccer, before we get to baseball, let's talk a little football. This made me happy. Jair Alexander coming over from the Packers to the Baltimore Ravens, $6 million deal. It's up to $6 million with incentives. He turned down more money to be in Baltimore with his former college teammate, my quarterback, Lamar Jackson. If you guys didn't see it, you should go to the Ravens social media and see the video. It is so cute between him and Lamar. Listen, he could be washed, but maybe he's not. And it's not costing the Ravens anything to have him part of this secondary. Look at this secondary. Jair Alexander joins Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins, Awuzie from, I think he was in Cincinnati, Kyle Hamilton, and Malachi Starks. So I'll take him for extra depth. The Ravens secondary always gets screwed with injuries. So when you've got Kyle Hamilton hobbling off the field after every other play like he always does, we've got Jair Alexander. He's got experience, and he wants to play for the Ravens. He wants to help his quarterback, Lamar Jackson, wins. Thank you. I always do with the Titans. Thank you. I knew it was some loser team. Can they catch the ball in January? Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you my prediction. Ravens are going to look absolutely incredible all regular season. They may even look good in January. And then they will crumble again in the AFC Championship game, maybe even the divisional game. But the Ravens are going to look good all regular season. So I'm okay with the regular season props. I think Lamar looks great. He lost a lot of weight. He looks like he's in shape. They were talking about it in the press conferences that Lamar, he was like, don't call me skinny, call me in shape. So Lamar looks good, and Lamar looks ready to win. And no one talks about how amazing bringing in running back Derrick Henry was for the Ravens because he's made Lamar healthy. Remember all the Lamar controversy with the horrible eating? Derrick Henry changed all that. So I really like the Ravens for the regular season. And then I like them to break my heart again. Rumor has it, if you look, Ariel's Pickett sponsor, she has a homer bet of Ravens to win the AFC. No, I don't. That was last year. I had them last year to win the Super Bowl. And it was not a homer play. It was a legit play because I don't bet my own teams unless my trusted handicapping friends tell me. And all of them love the Ravens. Every one of my really trustworthy friends love the Ravens. Ariel already slacking on the Pickett picks today. I just didn't post them yet. I'm going to post them after the show of my best bets. I didn't want to give away my best bets. Oh, you mean because they didn't connect to the sports book yet? Sorry, I was out to dinner for my sister, out to lunch for my sister's birthday. I've been an absolute disaster today. I will have everything up on Pickett by the end of the right after the show. I promise. It is hot in here. Oh, that's a Ravens reference, by the way. And lastly, because we're talking about my teams, let's talk about how pissed off I am about this loser team. The Yankees are minus 225 today against the Angels, and look at this. Last 29 innings, 0-0-0-0-0-0-0-0. So you know what? I'm cool with fading my own teams. I'm cool with fading Team USA. I'm cool with fading the Yankees. I'm cool with fading the Ravens. Because guess what? My teams don't win the big game. My teams always find a way to break my heart and piss me off, just like the Yankees did yesterday. If they get shut out today, Jessica said it's a franchise record tie with 1908. Yeah. Jessica, I took Angels money line too. Great. So we're all going to fade the Yankees. I'm going to talk about that actually in fishy lines. We've got a lot of fishy lines today. So Jessica, get ready because these are a lot of fun. 37 innings of zeros. Well, it is 5:10 p.m. Eastern time, and I have nothing but amazing things to say about this guy because not only did he save my ass today because I had no guests and I really was too tired to talk for a full hour on my own about just Major League Baseball, I'm bringing on the guy that has told me to, people elevate you in your career and tell you, they're not afraid to tell you how to do things better and be better. That's this guy, and he makes me better. So let's bring him on because I told you guys yesterday on the show, all we do is bring on great guests who elevate us. His name is Martino Puccio, and he is a soccer handicapper, the number one that I only trust in this world. What's going on, Martino?
Ariel, thank you so much for the kind words. Very happy to reunite with you. And it's been years since we've done anything in terms of live like this, but yes, of course. I'm very happy that you did decide to get on TikTok because yeah, I know it's for a younger age. It is hard. It is annoying, but you're too talented not to be on there. So yeah, I will always badger and bother people if I think they need to be doing something, even if they don't ask for it. So
that's okay. That's what I love. I feel like people are too afraid to speak up for what needs to happen to help people get better. And that's what I really hope for everybody who tries to do better in their careers and their life. We always need good friends like that. I asked you earlier today, I said, can you please explain to me what the hell is going on in soccer? I don't know anything about what's going on. So for the people that want action but may not understand all the different things we're seeing up on the board, what are the different soccer tournaments going on?
So there's two main ones currently happening in this country of the United States that you weren't even aware of. I guess, I don't know. Did you think that the actual World Cup was happening, or you just saw?
No, I know the World Cup's not till next year.
Okay. Well,
because it's here.
that's a
So I
plus.
know to
That's a
prepare
that's
to
a
never
plus
take the
then.
train that like those that like what 2 months in the summer.
Yeah. So there are two different tournaments. One of them is international, which is the Gold Cup. Those are obviously represented with countries. And then there's the Club World Cup, sponsored by FIFA. That is the international tournament. So those are teams from all the top regions around the world. So all your club teams, your Inter Miami's in it with Messi, and then your top European teams like Real Madrid and Manchester City, just for some more of the casual watchers. So those teams are playing in one tournament while the Gold Cup is going on, where the USA is involved, even though it's not the best USA players. There's so much to it, and there's so much drama around it. So you tell me what you want to get into first.
Let's talk about what you actually like, because I know that we have a few things on the card, and one of the plays
Yeah.
that you had was Canada plus 450. Why?
Yeah, that's the future for the Gold Cup. There aren't that many strong teams within this tournament. It's usually the same three that do win it: USA, Canada, Mexico. So I guess I'll go through the two favorite teams before Canada. Canada's the third. So with Mexico, they've been struggling in recent years. This is definitely one of their better teams that they fielded in an international tournament, Nations League, qualifiers, Gold Cup. So I understand why they're the favorite, but at plus 170, that's never really kind of anything I want to place on
No.
unless you know it's a shoe-in. That's something I did with the Thunder in the NBA. I had them at plus 110 during the Denver series. At that point, it just felt like they were the best, and there's no one else worth taking. With this tournament, I feel completely different. USA at plus 200. They're really not talented. There's a lot of controversy going around with this team right now. And truth be told, Canada pretty much has everyone outside of Alphonso Davies, who is the best player in the region. But even then, it doesn't matter. They're completely loaded with talent. I think they have the best manager as well in Jesse Marsh, who is American, by the way, someone that the U.S. probably should have hired at that point in time. But he went off to take on the Canada job, and he's done great. And this is the best generation of Canadian players. And we've seen they've been catching up in plenty of sports. They're great in basketball, too. So this isn't something to catch anybody off guard. I think top to bottom, they have the most talent. They've played together for quite some time on top of their manager. And at plus 450, I don't understand why the number is the way it is there. There is always those potential matchups of what team finishes in what part of the group and will they face earlier on in like a quarterfinal or a semifinal prior to the final actually happening. And that could change odds drastically. But as a whole, after seeing what they did last night, they won 6-0 against Honduras. Plus 450 is a really good number. And that's really why I like them. It could go either way. I don't understand the USA number. I think that's also, you have to remember a lot of the times in these public books over here in the States, the way odds are listed for this sport really go into public favoritism. And you know all about fading the public when it comes to plenty of this stuff. I mean, Pickett lists those odds all the time on, or the percentages of who's leaning what way and what does the public bet. Don't always listen to them. So I think this is one of those tournaments that you want to back away from it. So that's why I like Canada at that number.
Sean Michael has an interesting question. He said, how come the women have been so elite, but the men are so bad?
So I think it's a great question. I think it's all about how things started and where they started comparatively across the world. A lot of other countries around the world don't kind of give that sort of access to women. You're seeing it develop rapidly within Europe and other countries that they've been so good at it. It's becoming very prominent in Europe as well, like the club level. I think the women over here, it started off so great, and it's not kind of something that you get called soft and a loser if you're a guy growing up playing soccer here, because the main sport is football and it happens around the same time. So I think a lot of people shy away from that. The expense of it all, I grew up in Westchester. It's not necessarily people are broke for cash over here, so they even find it too expensive to play club football or soccer, sorry, where you don't get the right people playing. And that means all people. So when that kind of, you're hindering and blocking off a large majority of the population, and it is a lot of nepotism and who you know and what you know rather than how good you are, like we kind of do in a lot of other sports. Like, you're a great public middle school player in football. You can go to Don Bosco, you go to all these other great high schools where they give you an opportunity. It's not the same structure over here. You're probably better off playing at the youth level where they give people opportunities at age 16, age 17, even 15 in some countries that you're playing immediately. Over here, our programs are like, yeah, wait till you're 18. 18 is a lot of professionals. Arguably the best player in the world right now is 17 years old and Lamine Yamal.
Crazy.
So it's a big structure thing, and this is America. Like, welcome to this juggernaut of money that is the only thing that matters. If you don't have money, the path for you to be successful in this sport is a lot harder.
Well, I messed up already on this segment. Like, surprise, surprise. It's 9:15 p.m. game tomorrow, not a.m., so I don't have morning action, which is very sad. But I'm still fine with it. USA and Saudi Arabia are in action tomorrow. I'm really bad. CONCACAF Gold Cup plus 500. I'm assuming is Saudi Arabia. USA minus 185. Draws plus 280. Thoughts on this match?
Yeah, this one is a little tough. Saudi Arabia does have experience and definitely does have some pedigree. They beat Argentina in the last World Cup, regardless of it matters. If Argentina did end up winning it, it was a huge upset. It was one of the bigger group stage upsets in history. Hervé Renard was their manager at the time, so he's not managing them anymore. He's moved on. Saudi Arabia has also had some controversy. Roberto Mancini, who used to manage Italy, he quit in the middle of a match at one point. They're talented. They're pretty good. Plus 500 is a huge number. I don't think that is something some people should shy away from, especially if they don't love Team USA. I'm staying away from the money line completely. Minus 185 is really not worth it in a sport that can end in a draw, especially during regulation, because these players are not great. So your opportunities to score are few and far between a lot of the time. And if that's the case, then these guys are not great at finishing. If they get 2 chances per match, right? Then they miss those, and then you're looking at a draw all of a sudden, and you wagered on something that just moved to minus 190 now. So it's not really worth placing, in my opinion. So I always like looking at player props or totals. And the good thing about this is FanDuel has a no sweat bet with this. It's minus 200 or longer that you could place on this. I like Malik Tillman's score or assist. It's something I think you already showed up at plus 120. Again, this is their best player at this moment in time. He's able to score and create. Obviously, that plays into the prop itself. And at plus 120, it's a good number, especially if you're able to bet that at a no sweat. So there's minimal risk involved in that. And other things regarding the total, it's set at 2.5. That's kind of iffy. Do you think there's going to be a lot of chances created? If you think there's going to be a lot of back and forth end to end, then it's worth taking the over. If you think it's going to be a little bit more cagey, limited chances, then just take the under with it. These aren't prolific scorers on either side, but they're also not great defensively. I know that's kind of tiptoeing in that gray area and playing devil's advocate, but for me, I'd rather just stick with player props in a match like this because it's not really worth placing anything money line wise. And again, total is always iffy for me. 2.5. That I leave that up to the bettor's discretion. But for me, Malik Tillman's probably my favorite with the prop.
Hey, we love props, but I have to go back because I didn't want to interrupt.
No, you're good.
Someone quit in the middle of a match like Antonio Brown style?
Antonio Brown style. Who is the other cornerback? Avante Davis, rest in peace. But he was one who I think he retired at halftime with the Bills. But yeah, he left in the middle. It was like a penalty shootout. He just like walked out. He went into the tunnel. So yeah, imagine like, I don't know, John would never do it, but John Harbaugh leaving in a 2-minute warning in like a playoff game and just saying, that's it. I'm done here. I'm not coaching again. That's basically what happened there with Roberto Mancini. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I am so out of the loop of this sport because I feel like that's something I should have definitely heard before, but that's pretty crazy.
Hey, I mean, this sport is insane in general. I've seen players choke out other players and managers fighting assistant referees and getting red cards. It's all insane. They're completely unhinged. I mean, the drama surrounding U.S. men's national team is literally players' parents beefing with former players. Like, imagine, I don't know, literally we've seen it in the NBA, Tyrese Halliburton's dad going at Giannis, but imagine him going at Shaq instead and beefing just because the way Shaq might have not liked the way Tyrese carried himself. And Mr. Halliburton comes out and starts beefing with him and posting on Instagram about how much of a child he is and this and that. And it's all crazy. They're all very immature people, but it's a lot of fun to watch.
Sean Michael asked if you like any MLS underdogs this week.
Call me a bad American, call me whatever you want. I do not bet MLS. I barely watch MLS. And it's also more difficult anyways at this point in time because players are leaving to go play internationally. A lot of these players are MLS players that would be playing in Gold Cup because a lot of talented players from all these countries in the region do end up playing for them. I don't have strong takes on it. Sometimes I bet Inter Miami matches just because Messi's involved in there and there's always a lot of goals, but I stay off of MLS, so I apologize to that. My groove is more so international and European.
Okay, I'll take it. Are you going to probably spend $1 million to go to the World Cup next year?
No. One, it looks like Italy's going to be missing for a third straight time, which is insane. It's literally unheard of. It's like if the Yankees didn't make the playoffs for like 20 years. It's nuts. And no, Team USA is terrible. All this money for me, soccer is very enjoyable to go watch in person. But much like football, unless the match is so like, it's not worth me going to watch the Jets at MetLife. It's not going to be worth that for I don't know how long. For you, it's always worth to go watch the Ravens. It's a great franchise. I know they haven't won the big one. I get that. Blah blah blah. Please, cry me a river. I'm a Jets fan, but the point is, I'm not spending all this money when it's going to be packed in so many different places, traveling to other places to go and watch a team that, quite frankly, men's team doesn't seem like they care.
It's so sad that we have the chance to host finally like something so massive and our team sucks.
Yes, and I don't. It's not just that they suck; they're dramatic and they suck. That I think that's worse. I also don't love the finals at MetLife. I think a lot of people aren't ready for the chaos that is. Like I've been to a Lions and Jets game, and it took an hour and a half to get out of the parking lot. So I just hope people understand what they're getting into. But no, maybe if I got credentialed, then I'd go. But I am not paying money out of pocket to go watch any of these teams.
Our sports betting researcher on the show, Jessica Brand, she likes Spain for World Cup. And what else did you say, Jessica? And she also likes PSG futures. Anything you think about those?
Yeah, PSG, I mean, they're unbelievable. They won the Champions League. For those who don't know, it was 5-0. It was the biggest victory of all time. Probably the biggest letdown championship game that I've seen since Broncos Seahawks. That was by far the worst Super Bowl I've ever seen. Completely one-sided. This one was great because they beat my rivals team in Inter Milan. PSG to win that, I think they're still grooving. They're playing at a high level. Some of these teams have stopped playing for a little bit. Manchester City and some of these other clubs, they're very thin. So I could definitely see PSG winning this one on top of it. In Spain, if you just want me to hop into that one too,
yeah.
They're easily still playing some of the best in the world. Lamine Yamal, this kid, like Ariel, this kid is literally 17. He might be the best player in the world. He's 17 years old, and he's been playing this way since he's been 16. He's arguably the best teenager in sports history. He's up there probably since Pele has been. There hasn't been someone this good at that age, and I would say definitely no one since LeBron at a teenage level on a professional scale, because we don't really see that in Major League Baseball. We've seen Soto, we've seen Bryce Harper. The best player in baseball right now didn't get up till he was 25 in Judge. So,
right.
It's insane to just think about it because our 17-year-olds over here are still in high school. But I'm pretty sure
your brother's still in high school.
Your brother's still in high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine your brother is the best player in the world in a sport, and probably the most popular sport at that. It's insane. So he can only get better is the point I was going to get at. And so the sky's the limit with them, and they have other very really talented players. Placing it now, it's not bad, but we're still a year out. So we don't really know what's going to happen, who's going to qualify, who's not going to qualify. It's also an expanded format. There's more teams now in this World Cup than there's ever been before. So the way the groups will break down and there's more knockout games, there could be a little bit more variety there, but we'll see. I think the deeper countries will have more success in this tournament next year.
Andy says, finding a way to sneak a shot at Inter. Love it.
Shout out to Andy. He's a great follow and friend on Twitter. So, yes, always have to get a shot in there. Like, I'm sure you would take a shot at the Steelers if you had a chance to. So,
hey, listen, I have no problem with betting on my enemies, because if they win, and then I'll just be happy in some sort of capacity. It's fine. Especially when your team pisses you off so much.
I do that all the time. I bet on I used to bet on the Pats more often. These days, the Mets are actually
At this
respectable.
rate, as a Jets fan, you just don't feel anymore.
I don't. For about half a decade now, Red Zone is up on the main screen. The Jets are on the small screen. Outside of Monday Night Football, when Rodgers blew out his Achilles, that's the only time I can remember I was excited to watch a game, and since I was in high school. So, yeah, they're a totally different animal when it comes to that. Yeah.
Sad life. Martino Puccio, what are you up to these days? Where can people find your stuff?
Yeah, still find me on Twitter everywhere at Martino Puccio, TikTok as well. I don't post as much on my main one. I do a lot of stuff regarding AC Milan. I write for Sports Illustrated about the Metsies. So if you're interested in reading any stuff like that, unless you are still a Sours Grape Yankees fan, there are a few out there. Not everyone is. My whole family's Yankees fans, so don't worry. I come in peace. But yeah, you could just go and follow me everywhere at Martino Puccio. There aren't too many people with that name, so be sure to find me Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok.
Whoa, he said you look like Messi.
I'll take that. I usually get Zelensky, especially with this shirt.
Yeah, Zelensky, I could see.
Yeah. Oh, so you can see
I can see that.
Those are a lot of comments I get on TikTok and YouTube and other places. Is just straight up Zelensky comments. I'll take Messi though. I appreciate
Messi
that.
over Zelensky for sure. I get it's Jeffrey your uncle, so we could be in the same boat, I guess.
That one's worse. I'll say that. I won't comment.
I don't know. Everyone thinks it's so bad. If I got a private island, I would turn it into something not illegal.
Hey, listen, I'll leave it right there. You said everything. I appreciate you having me on. It's always great to talk
at least
to
you don't want to get canceled. It's fine. Thank you. Oh, someone said I clicked this because I thought it was Zelensky.
I told you. Either they played into it immediately, or if not, that's very funny. But yes, there you go. There's your proof.
It's our Prime Minister of Soccer Bets, Martino Puccio. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll have you on again soon.
Yeah, of course. Thanks so much. Take care.
Oh man, you gotta love doppelgangers. I don't really know who mine is. Does anyone know my doppelganger? I don't really think I have one. If you do have one, please let me know. I would love to know. Yes, the Lakers just got sold. You and Earl, I know, I saw it. The Bus family is selling the majority ownership. It to the Dodgers owner. The Dodgers owner was a small owner in the Lakers already, and now he's just going to take on majority. So that's happening in the NBA. But to be honest, do we really care? Can someone in the chat tell me why we should care? I'm not buying the team. You're not buying the team. Who cares? It's not like the Commanders, like the Redskins. When the Redskins got bought, it was a big deal. If the Knicks got bought, it'd be a big deal because people hate those owners. No one really, I know the Bus family is a huge deal, but no one cared. Do we really care that it's a huge deal? Don't get me wrong. It's a huge deal for the Bus family, but it's not dramatic news. It's not going to change your life. So I'm just saying, I don't care. Joe Dollar says horrible owner. He's made a mess of Chelsea too. It has an effect on how much money the owners will spend. You think an effect on how much the owners will spend? The Dodgers have had a problem spending money, Earl. We know the Dodgers haven't had a problem spending money. They literally got Ohtani. They have every superstar in the world. I'm not worried. Look at the Dodgers. They spend money ridiculously. It changes the balance of power in sports. You think the Lakers already had a problem with the balance of power? They have LeBron. They got AD, and then they went out and got Luka. It's it'd be different if the Dodgers ownership decided to buy the Wizards. But they got the Dodgers ownership bought the Lakers. They don't care about money. It's another just generational, amazing organization that's bought again by another rich billionaire who's going to continue to spend money. The Lakers have always had the leg up on the competition in the NBA. I know they had a few down years, but the Lakers never struggled to go out and get someone. They got LeBron, they got AD, they got Luka. The only thing that they needed was a center, and they couldn't get that. Mark Williams couldn't get him. All right, Rico wants to talk baseball. Let's talk baseball. I'll talk baseball with you guys. Let's start with some strikeout props to watch. I still haven't even bet anything yet today. This is bad. Jessica Brand has my doppelganger. Alexa Pena Vega. Carmen from Spy Kids? No. No, I don't think so. I love Alexa Vegas. I love her, but I don't think I look like her. I don't know. We might have to do a little AI and figure that out and see if with her with blonde hair looks good. Okay, Major League Baseball action. Kelly's not my doppelganger. No, she's not. We'll see that tomorrow. Remember, her and Coach James Young are hopping on the show tomorrow to talk about my failed dating life and basketball and lacrosse. K-props to watch today. We've got a long list of K-props. I've got Major League Baseball fishy lines. Let's go to Adam Mazur, who is making his season debut. He's up against the Phillies. He's the Miami righty, by the way. He pitched last year, went under 4.5 Ks in all 3 appearances against low K rate lineups. Phillies averaging just about 4 strikeouts a game against righty starters. Those pitchers, 24 overs, 28 unders. But again, for a Phillies team that doesn't strike out a lot, Mazur first started the season, I'd aim to the under. This game scares the crap out of me. Rockies righty Arman Marquez up against Washington lefty Mitchell Parker. I'm scared because it's a fishy line going against what would look good for both. Okay, anyway, I'm not making sense. I'm not speaking English. Marquez, under 3.5 Ks. So he's gone under this in 5 of 8 starts against low K rate lineups. That includes 4 of 5 on the road. Righty starters, 33 unders and 19 overs. So most go under when facing the Nats this year. And clearly the book is just mispricing these numbers, because if you're continuing like the Nats, the Rays, if you continue to see such lopsided numbers of over versus under, then the book is getting something wrong. When you see teams more at 500, then you know the book's kind of got them. But Colorado getting Washington and these lefty-righty splits against the Nats, I would look to unders against the Nats with righty. Nats lefty Mitchell Parker, over 4.5 Ks. He's gone over this in 5 of 8 starts against teams averaging 5 or more strikeouts per game against lefty starters. But here's the thing. Parker's getting the Rockies, who average 6 or more strikeouts a game against lefties. So now so 5 of 8 starts, Parker went over this against teams averaging 5 or more Ks a game against lefties. But now we take that down to even a smaller scale of the teams that Parker's faced that average 6 or more strikeouts a game against lefties. 6 strikeouts against Pittsburgh, 4 against Baltimore, and 5 against Texas. So in teams that are averaging 6 or more strikeouts a game against lefties, Parker's gone over in 2 of the 3. Lefties, 12 of the 20 lefty starters to face Colorado went over their strikeout prop. They're averaging just under 7 strikeouts a game. In fact, 12 straight lefty starters have had 5 or more strikeouts against the Rockies. 12 straight. So this number for Parker at home feels very low. Arizona's lefty Eduardo Rodriguez, under 4.5 Ks. Erod's only faced 1 low K rate lineup in his 11 starts. He had 1 strikeout on the road against the Mets through 4 innings. The Jays, they have one of the lowest strikeout rates in baseball against lefties, averaging 3.9 strikeouts per start. 11 of the 17 have gone under their strikeout prop against Toronto if you're a lefty starter. Since May 1st, 7 of the last 11 southpaws to face the Jays went under 4.5 Ks. Erod under on the road in Toronto. I've got another list. More K-props. Remember, don't bet all of these. Just giving you my thoughts on the ones that I like the most. Minnesota's righty Bailey Ober, over 4.5 Ks. Through his 14 starts, Ober's faced just 1 high K rate lineup. He punched out 6 Red Sox on the road through 6. Last year, Ober fanned 6 Reds batters in 6 2/3 innings, getting the Reds tonight. Righties averaged just over 5 strikeouts a game against the Reds, with 6 of the last 10 going over 4.5 Ks against Cincinnati. Texas lefty Patrick Corbin, over 3.5 Ks. I know usually we fade Corbin, but this is a good matchup when it comes to lefty-righty splits when you face the Rangers. Corbin's a lefty. He's had at least 4 strikeouts in 6 of 10 games against high K rate lineups, and 3 of those 5 were at home. Of course, I'm worried that I lost a bunch of K props against the Royals. I I said Corbin's playing the Rangers. He's playing the Royals. I know I've lost some strikeout props against the Royals, but 7 of the last 10 lefty starters to face Kansas City had at least 4 strikeouts. It's just such a low number for a team like Kansas City, who's got drastic lefty-righty splits. They're averaging the Royals almost 2 strikeouts more per game against lefties than righties. And this is where we find the edge against the book. When you can find those lefty-righty splits that are super drastic, the book's kind of taking overall strikeout prop edges. So I would look to Corbin taking advantage because the Royals don't strike out a lot against righties, which is why you're getting a good low number here on Corbin, but he's a lefty. This one might not exist anymore. I saw it go to 7.5 in some spots, but Houston's lefty Framber Valdez up against the Athletics over 6.5 Ks. I'd only take 6.5. Valdez has gone over this in 7 of 11 starts against high K rate teams. 4 of those 7 were on the road, and lefty starters, 7 of the 10 to face the A's have gone over their strikeout prop. So you could look to an over here for the lefty Framber Valdez. I'm going to catch up on the chat now that I just rambled through all those. 5-minute on the WNBA fight with Coach tomorrow. Yeah, that'll be funny. Let's see. Might not be able. Might not be. Tigers game got canceled. Doubleheader tomorrow. So Scooble versus Skeens tomorrow. Interesting. Got Valdez for -115 over 6.5. That scares me that the juice came down so much on that. But Valdez is always like, you just never know. Mazer is 3.5 plus money on FanDuel. I don't mind that. I think it's a good play for plus money in a first start of the year against a team like the Phillies that doesn't strike out a lot. So I think you get a decent advantage there. Ranger Suarez over 5.5 at +120 against Miami. So let me see what I have on Suarez. The reason I didn't do this is because, are you thinking? Yeah, you're thinking over. So lefties have actually gone towards the under against Miami. 11 of the 18 lefties to face the Marlins have gone under their strikeout prop, averaging 4.7 strikeouts a game. I did see heavy juice to the under there as well for Suarez. So I would be a little concerned about Suarez just because of the lefty-righty splits against Miami. So Miami this year, just to give you like if you look at the strikeout prop spreadsheet, which you get full access to as a premium subscriber on the propqueen.com newsletter, you would see that righties are averaging 5.1 strikeouts a game against Miami, but lefties are averaging 4.7. So there is a drop off, and Ranger Suarez is a lefty. So I would just be a little cautious of Ranger Suarez tonight. Mark, I like Corbin over Ober, but I'll take Ober over too. Scooble Skeens is must-see TV. I hope they're smart enough to make that the night game or like the later game and not have them be like the day game. I'm assuming they'd be smart enough to do that. We do have day baseball going on, actually. Let's see if it happens. And AJ Hinton, Don Kelly line it up that way of the DH. I hope so. Jessica likes it to the over but close. See, Jessica bets things on a value perspective. I bet things on like a numbers and stats telling me if this should or shouldn't hit perspective. Jessica always is more like, Jessica's style is more, my number says this, which means the line should be this, and that means you're getting a good line. So most respected bettors bet the way Jessica bets. I just bet with strikeout props a little bit differently because I just sometimes like to bet my numbers and not so much like, oh, that's a good value play. But sometimes I do bet a good value play. Apparently the Stanley Cup is damaged, by the way. ESPN saying the trophy's bowl is cracked and the bottom dented amid Panther celebrations. Keepers plan to have it fixed for the parade. The hell did we do? The hell did we do here? We damaged the trophy? You worked so hard for that thing. It's like getting a diamond bracelet and deciding to damage it the day you get it because you're so excited that you overwear it and you like wear it to some kind of like boxing event that you decide to fight someone in. Like, why would you do that? Anyway, I do probably have some propaganda, and I definitely have fishy lines. Let me see if I have some propaganda to give out for today. BetMGM, did you send me anything? They sent me College World Series. MLB games was yesterday. No propaganda. I've been weirdly getting their MLB stuff so late. I don't know why. So let's get to fishy lines. Fishy lines. We've got a lot today, so buckle up. Remember, for fishy lines, it's not necessarily telling you to bet the dog. You can bet the dog if you like my explanations for them, or you could just stay away from the favorites. Starting with the Nats and the Rockies. The Rockies have been on fire. Who would have said that? I think the announcer said in their game yesterday that the Rockies can't be stopped. Like, he was waiting to say that for his whole career. The line did move 16 cents in favor of Colorado, despite the public, of course, on Washington. Listen, the Rockies have 9 home runs in their last 41 at-bats, dating back to the 9th inning of a Monday's game. Colorado looks to win 4 in a row for the first time since a 7-game winning streak last May. And the Nationals have lost 10 in a row. Mitchell Parker has lost each of his last 4 starts, owning a 6.16 ERA. I told you that's why I was a little worried about Parker and Marquez K-props, because if the line's moving in favor of Colorado, does that mean Marquez stays in the game long enough and then he goes over? And does that mean Parker sucks and he goes under? So I was a little worried about the K-props, but this is a fishy line. So I would be weary of Washington tonight. Oh boy, I can't wait to talk about this fishy line. Angels Yankees. Let's just go here. Yeah. 0-0-0-0-0-0-0. Yankees suck. Yankees suck. I would not lay minus 225 right now on the Yankees. I don't even know how the hell they are booked at minus 225. It's not like we've got Garrett Cole pitching. It's not even like you got Max Fried or Carlos Rodon pitching. This is a disaster. You've got Ryan Yarbrough on the mound, and he's minus 225? Get the hell out of here. No way. Do you know that it's been 8 days since any Yankees hit a home run not named Aaron Judge? Ryan Yarbrough got the win last time over Konchwitz in LA, but you know what I always say? If the result happened the first time, I normally won't bet it again the second time. Also, in all 5 games between the Angels and the Yankees, it's always been the road team winning so far this year. Mike Trout's been on a tear since coming off the IL, hitting .317 with 9 ribbies in 17 games. I don't trust the Yankees. I don't mind betting the Angels. Under? Nah. It's gorgeous out here today. Maybe the ball travels a little. I don't know. Jessica might have the, what did you say? Rockies have been priced to better favor the last several weeks. Inevitable traffic in a good way. Yeah, they've been good. Yeah, I don't really have interest in betting. I'm a Yankees fan. We suck right now. I'm a Yankees fan too. I don't have interest in the under just because these two teams saw each other already recently, and these two pitchers matched up like a couple weeks ago. Jessica, if you like anything about the under, you can let me know. Did I see the number move at all in the total? 9.5 was what it was last night. Still 9.5 today with a little juice to the over. I don't know. I know you're saying under because the Yankees can't score, but Jessica plus 194. I think the Yankees raked today. Castellanos back from his benching. Anytime home run. Joe, only if we go to war are we going to hit a home run prop on Castellanos. If we go to war, absolutely. Go bet him. That's why I was laughing yesterday, actually, because it would, sorry, I was looking at Jessica's dad. So yesterday when there was all this stuff going on about like potential like Iran and Israel conflict and America coming in, and they said Castellanos said something to Rob Thompson, his manager, that made Thompson sit him yesterday. I'm thinking, is he saying to Thompson, we're going to war? Rumor is he told Rob Thompson Canada's never winning the Stanley Cup again. I thought he said we were going to war. And he was going to try to like get some kind of boost because, you know, Castellanos always homers when big conflicts in the world happen or big events in the world happen. Joe Dollar says sale under 7.5Ks. So I actually looked into that, and there's still some more fishy lines, but I'll talk about this. So I did look into Chris Sale under today. I don't think I'm insane enough to do it. I see the allure with it, though. It's very high. And Sale, 4 starts this year against low K rate lineups against lefties. He had 7 in San Diego, 4 in Arizona, 6 at home against San Diego, and 10 at home against Arizona. So my concern was that he had 9 strikeouts against the Mets last year in 7 1/3. That was on the road. I'm worried to fade Sale at home. So the only concern, despite the Mets going under 7.5 Ks and 7 of 10 since May 1st against lefties, despite 10 of the 16 lefties to face the Mets going under their K prop, averaging 4.4 strikeouts a game, despite all of those stats pointing towards the under, it just means I won't bet the over. But Sale at home, I don't think I can fade him. There's something about aces at home. I love fading aces on the road. If I had Sale on the road at the Mets, I'd consider it more, even though we had 9 in Citi Field last year. I just don't know if I could fade an ace at home, even if it's the Mets and them not striking out much against lefties. Jessica said weather is not amazing here for game, but not enough for an under for Angels Yankees. Aaron, Yankees first 5, Judge 1 or more hits, Yankees under 5.5, LA money line, Jack 5+ Ks. Jesus Christ, dude. How many more conflicting plays do we want to have here? That's pretty crazy. Jessica said, I honestly think closer to 11 by my numbers. No under there. I don't know what we're talking about. Okay, Sale gets 7 today, Joseph Rodriguez says. Jessica said, Rogers under 3.5K plus 130. If you want my pick for a K, you can bet it now. Interesting. See, actually, that's a good segue into my next fishy line, Orioles Rays. This line moved 10 cents in favor of the Orioles, despite the Rays getting majority of the, the Rays are getting the majority of the bets, but the money's on the Orioles and the line's moving in favor of Baltimore. Baltimore's bats have been pretty hot, and the Rays, I'm a little concerned because Taj Bradley hasn't been the greatest against the O's. So Rogers, I don't trust him at all. I know he's starting for the O's. He got sent down to AAA. Pitched pretty well, actually, against the Red Sox before he got sent down. I think he allowed 1 run. But in AAA, Rogers got better, owned a 3.31 ERA, allowing just 1 home run. The Orioles, they've won 15 of their last 22 games. Gunnar Henderson, great numbers against the Rays, hitting 365 in his last 20 against Tampa. The O's bullpen finally has found themselves. They have thrown 14 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings, owning a 1.09 ERA in their last 14 games. Finally, Felix Bautista's looking like himself again, the Orioles closer. Taj Bradley had his worst start of his career against the Orioles last year, allowing 9 runs. That was on June 1st. He's 1-3 with a Taj Bradley's 1-3 with a 4.50 ERA in his last 6 starts, so he's been struggling a bit. 10-cent move in favor of the O's. Doesn't mean, though, that we're going to see a lot of strikeouts by Trevor Rogers because the Rays really don't strike out that much, which is why Jessica likes the under here for a plus money play at plus 130. Very good value for a starter on the road against a very low K rate team. Orioles bats versus Bradley are way one-sided for Baltimore. Exactly. Joe likes the under in the Braves game tonight. I don't mind that with Sale at home. 90 games left. Atlanta will be fine. Ronald does a big deal for that lineup. Orioles now minus 105. See, that line's flipping. Damn. Lots of money coming in on Baltimore. Fishy line. This is the last one. Cardinals, White Sox. This one I love the least, but I'll tell you why it's moving against the Cards, despite majority of action coming in on Sonny Gray. He sucks on the road. Sonny Gray at home, 5-1, 2.85 ERA. On the road in 5 starts, 5.88 ERA. Sean Burke, prior to his last start, scratched that last start, it was bad, but the 3 starts before that, 2.37 ERA. Starting pitching, home road splits. That's why you're seeing this line move significantly, 20 cents against St. Louis, because Sonny Gray sucks on the road this year. So those are the fishy lines of the day. We still have 10. Oh, batter props. I have to add more graphics. Let me add more graphics. We have batters props to watch. Some overs to take a look at today. Yeah, you could see this. I think that was the last one. Yeah, okay. Francisco Lindor, he's got great numbers against Chris Sale, hitting 412 with 2 doubles and 2 home runs. Ketel Marte hitting 412 with a double and 2 homers against Eric Lauer. Kyber Ruiz hitting 625 with a double against Armand Marquez. Christian Yelich hitting 303, a double, 2 homers against Jameson Taillon. Rhys Hoskins hitting 364, 2 home runs against Taillon. Jackson Chourio, 500 batting average. Oh, I missed a parentheses there. This is from the newsletter. This helps me to go over everything in the newsletter of all my typos that I miss. 5 and 10 with a double and home run against Tyone. Jose Ramirez loves to rake against Justin Verlander, hitting 317 with 3 doubles and 4 home runs for J-Ram. Yainer Diaz hitting 429 with 2 home runs against Sevy, and that one is in Sacramento tonight. So you could take a look at some runs being scored in Sacramento per usual. Mark Hanna 448 with a double and a home run against Corbin. Jonathan India hitting 385 with a homer against Corbin. Mike Trout hitting great against Ryan Yarbrough, and he's on fire. Only 3 for 7, but 2 doubles and a homer, and Trout's also been hitting really well since coming off the IL. Andrew Benintendi hitting 379 with a double and a home run against Sonny Gray. Ryan O'Hearn hitting 444 with a double and a homer against Taj Bradley. Then where's the unders? I thought I added it. Ugh, I always add the wrong stuff. Nope. Wrong graphic. Here's the unders. No! I hate that this caps me at graphics. Unders. There's just 2. Gleyber Torres hitting 214 with a double home run and 5 Ks against Andrew Heaney. And Josh Bell hitting 115 with a double and 2 home runs against Herman Marquez. Jessica, life hack. I always put stuff for the letter into Grok to proofread for errors. I know, but it's so long. And sometimes I don't think it understands my lingo. I don't think that Grok understands like strikeout prop like lingo. We gotta speak our language. If I don't speak my language the right way, I don't want it to like change my words. I do have some Royal Locks, but I do want to bring up a few other things before I get to Royal Locks today. First things first, I do have the propqueen.com newsletter that everyone can subscribe to. There are some free perks that you get from it. Like I usually give out the batters to watch for free. Sometimes I give out some other things, but I did for free today because I want all of the propqueen.com newsletter subscribers to fill this out. I put up a poll when it comes out in 10 minutes, the newsletter, you'll see the poll. I want everybody to take the poll and tell me how to make the newsletter better. What can I do to make people want to subscribe, to pay for the newsletter? What information would you guys like to see? What can the newsletter do better to help you guys out more? I know we're going to have some partnerships coming up. I'm still waiting on some contracts, but we do have some partnerships that are coming up that should also provide some helpful tools for you guys that will be accessed through the propqueen.com website. But I would love to know anything and any feedback that you guys have, whether it's on the show, the YouTube page, the newsletter, that could potentially get people to want to be part of the propqueen.com community more. I would love to help out as best as I can, because right now we are getting into the dog days of summer where we're going to have just Major League Baseball. We'll have some NASCAR action. We'll have, I guess, some soccer. We have golf. We have, why am I missing something in my head? I'm missing something. We've got a lot of sports, but I know football is coming up in August, and that's what I want to make sure that everything Prop Queen is ready for, that we have everything that you guys want. And Jessica says the same here, to definitely, if there's anything that you'd want Jessica to touch on as our sports betting researcher here at the Prop Queen, to let us know what you guys are looking for, so that by the time we hit football season, we can better provide for you everything that you guys need. Of course, football is king, and we're going to have a ton of fun doing football when that rolls around. So tons of soccer. Okay. I can go and get you guys some soccer stuff from Martino. I also have a few other soccer guys that could definitely be helpful. So I would love to help out with any soccer, WNBA action. You know that we've got Coach coming on for that. Coach is going to give us some WNBA. Ponies. Interesting. Okay. Possibly ponies. We could do that. But yeah, tomorrow, oh my gosh, tomorrow's going to be an absolute shit show. Tomorrow, we've got Coach coming on at 5:10. He's going to tell us everything about WNBA and the NBA Finals. But then he's going to join us with Kelly. And we are going at Kelly for trying to set me up with a bunch of people that I don't want to call them weird. I don't know them. But damn, I would love to know what goes on in her mind. And then we're going to talk lacrosse. That was the sport I was thinking of. Lacrosse. Premier Lacrosse. Remember to go vote, by the way. All-Star game is July 4th and July 5th. You could go vote right now for Premier Lacrosse. NFL Futures. I'll ask Kelly for some of those too, but we're going to talk lacrosse, and I'll ask her if she likes anything in the NFL. Mid-Major Matt's also going to do some college football futures, so we'll definitely do that. Tomorrow's going to be like Jerry Springer about betting. That's so true. Is Kelly going to be sober on the show? I don't know. She's been in Vegas, so she'll probably be sober because she's been in Vegas and she was just at a wedding in California. So she probably is going to want to be sober for at least 24 hours after Vegas. I saw her drinking a margarita the other day. Like every day is a Saturday for her. Every day. We make fun of her all the time, me and my friend group, that like she's always on vacation. Anyway, we've got 3 minutes left of the show, so I'm going to tell you my favorite bets of the day. It is the best bets. It is Royal Locks. Royal Locks. Eduardo Rodriguez is my favorite prop of the day, under 4.5 strikeouts. I love it because he's on the road in Toronto. The Blue Jays really just don't strike out, averaging 3.9 strikeouts a game. 11 of the 17 lefties to face Toronto have gone under their strikeout prop. 7 of the last 11 southpaws to face Toronto went under 4.5 Ks. Erod's only faced one low K rate team in his 11 starts, and he had 1 strikeout on the road at Citi Field in 4 innings. Minnesota's righty Bailey Ober, over 4.5 Ks, just because it's a lot of fun to say Ober goes over. Through Ober's 14 starts, Ober's faced just 1 high K rate lineup. He punched out 6 Red Sox on the road through 6 innings. Last year, Ober faced the Reds and fanned 6 batters in 6 2/3 innings. Righties are averaging just over 5 strikeouts a game against the Reds, with 6 of the last 10 going over. And if there was any others that I was leaning towards, I know you guys like the Corbin over 3.5 Ks, so that one seems intriguing as well. But these are my 2 favorite strikeout props tonight. Erod under 4.5 Ks is my favorite one of the night, and then Ober is a second at 4.5 Ks. Minus 120 on FanDuel for Erod. Okay, that's cool. And then minus 125 for Ober. Those are the best numbers you could get right now. So I'm cool with that. I didn't really have time to fully shop around for the updated numbers, and that's why we have Jessica. Mark says, I never bet ponies before until you had Samich on and we hit the super at the Derby. Now I'm hooked. Okay, I'll see if there's anything else that Samich has going on and we could bring him back. I'm glad that I got you hooked onto something else. Said no Gambling Anonymous host ever, but I'm here to help condone, I guess. Sean Michael, need Pam back once a week. Okay. Well, we've got a lot to talk about with Pam, but we definitely are going to get her on for Wimbledon when that's starting. Wimbledon actually is starting. Wimbledon dates. What is that? July, end of June. So June 30th is the start of Wimbledon. So we'll have Pam on to talk about Wimbledon, and we'll also talk. She's busy this week. Check her out. Golf Channel. She's going to be doing a lot of stuff for the Golf Channel, so I'm really pumped for her. That's the end of the show, guys. Picket Sports, please go and download the Picket Sports app. You can see it here on the top right corner of the screen. You can download the Picket Sports app. Make sure to go and follow along at Ariel Epstein, the prop queen, where you can tail all of my plays and you can just help support the sponsor that helps support the prop queen. That would be super fun. Tomorrow, don't forget, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time, it's going to be a Jerry Springer-like show with 2 insane people and myself. I am not as insane as those 2. Kelly in Vegas is going to come on at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time to talk Premier Lacrosse, maybe NFL, maybe college football, and my love life. And we're going to talk WNBA and NBA finals with Coach James Young. It is a fully loaded show on Full Throttle tomorrow. See you guys at 5 p.m. Eastern time here on the Prep Queen Pod. Good luck with your bets tonight.